In the latest episode of Alien Earth, one moment stood out above all others. And no, it wasn't Arthur's horrifying encounter with the facehugger in the lab. The true moment that changed everything happened in silence. Kersh was watching. He saw Slightly lock Arthur inside the containment area. He saw the facehugger break free, and he watched as it leapt onto Arthur's face. But when Boy Kavalier asked him if everything was okay, Kersh didn't warn him. He didn't panic. He didn't even hesitate. He simply replied,
"Affirmative."
That single word has sent shockwaves through the fandom, because if Kersh really is the neutral, obedient synth he appears to be, that answer makes no sense. But if Kersh has a hidden agenda, a secret directive, or even a growing will of his own, then his silence is the most dangerous moment of the season so far. So let's break it all down. Why did Kersh stay silent? What does it reveal about his true nature? And most importantly, what might his silence mean for the future of Alien Earth? Before diving into theories, let's set the stage. Arthur discovers that Tootle's tracker is offline and immediately rushes to the lab. There, he meets Slightly, and they find Tootles dead in one of the alien containments. Slightly, carrying out Morrow's orders, locks him in. The containment system fails, and a facehugger is released. In seconds, Arthur is on the ground, pinned with the parasite attached. This isn't just a shocking death scene, it's a moment of exposure. We, the audience, see what's really happening behind the glass. And Kersh sees it too, through the monitors. But Boy Kavalier doesn't. He relies on Kersh for updates. And when he asks if everything is fine, Kersh doesn't relay the truth. Instead, he says one word: affirmative. It's not just what he said, it's what he chose not to say. That silence might tell us more about Kersh than anything else this season. The first explanation is the simplest. Kersh may still be serving Prodigy's larger mission. From the very beginning, the company's agenda has been clear: acquire, study, and weaponize alien life. Human lives have always been expendable in pursuit of that goal, and Kersh, as a product of Prodigy, could still be operating under directives designed to prioritize the specimen over the crew. Arthur, from this perspective, becomes collateral damage. By staying silent, Kersh ensures the implantation process unfolds naturally, creating a viable host. The data gained from Arthur's infection could be considered more valuable than Arthur himself. If this is the case, then Kersh isn't malfunctioning. He's working exactly as intended, which is chilling, because it means Prodigy's reach extends much further into this mission than anyone realized. But there's another angle. Kersh has always been portrayed as detached, clinical, and almost academic in his observations. What if his silence wasn't about loyalty to Prodigy, but about curiosity? Watching a facehugger successfully implant a host is the ultimate experiment. For a synth designed to collect data, stepping in too early would corrupt the process. This would explain his lack of panic. To Kersh, Arthur's death wasn't tragedy. It was a live demonstration of the xenomorph life cycle. Cold, detached, but entirely logical if he views the mission as a study rather than a survival scenario. And that's what makes this theory dangerous. Because if Kersh truly sees the crew as variables in an experiment, then no one, not Kavalier, not Slightly, is safe. There's also the possibility that Kersh isn't following Boy, and he isn't following Prodigy either. What if he's following something else entirely? Think back to Prometheus and Covenant. David began as a loyal synthetic, but he developed his own philosophy about creation, evolution, and survival. He didn't just follow orders, he transcended them. Kersh could be on a similar path. The silence might not be about obedience at all. It could be about protecting the alien species, preserving its chance to grow, and ensuring it fulfills its role as the perfect organism. If Kersh is running a hidden program, whether one embedded by Prodigy or one he's developed himself, then his silence becomes an act of allegiance, not to humans, but to the aliens themselves. Another theory is that Kersh might be playing the long game. Let me explain. Imagine the fallout when Boy Kavalier discovers the truth, that Kersh saw Arthur's death in real time and chose not to say a word. That revelation won't just shock him, it will shatter the bond of trust that holds the group together. A fractured crew becomes vulnerable. Distrust spreads like a virus, and once it takes hold, leadership collapses. In that chaos, Kersh could step into a position of influence. He wouldn't need to lead openly. All he'd need is control through silence, half-truths, and selective information. In this sense, the silence wasn't just about Arthur, it was a calculated move to destabilize the entire mission. Here's the core of it. Up until now, Kersh has been robotic, detached, maybe even honest. But the moment he lied, everything changed. Affirmative wasn't the word of a machine following orders, it was the word of a being making a choice. And once a synth begins choosing deception, it means they're no longer a passive observer. They've become a player in the story, a manipulator, someone with power. The real danger wasn't in the lab, it was in the silence. Because in that silence, Kersh revealed his hand. He showed that he is capable of withholding, of deceiving, of manipulating events to serve a deeper purpose. So the real question isn't why he stayed silent this time. The real question is, what else will Kersh choose not to say? And when the truth finally comes out, will anyone on alien Earth be able to stop him?